Tom and Adam for Cultaholic. I was thinking about Hell in a Smell a little bit earlier today. Yeah.
I'm not even considering it. It doesn't matter to me. Tom, what were you thinking?
I was just thinking, because last year's was awful, and one of us, I won't say who, sorted out horse manure for us. I'm just intrigued as to how they will up the ante for the loser. Surely it won't be worse, will it?
I guess Andrew's going to find out.
I think he might be Andrew. Hey, predictions, reactions, all that jazz for Hell in a Cell and consequently Hell in a Smell coming up at youtube.com/Cultaholic. But for now, here is your wrestling news. A lot of surprises are planned for SummerSlam 2021. Is the King of the Ring returning? And NXT Stars refuse a main roster call-up. We'll talk about it in a bit. Surprises, they're always nice. Happy birthday, Grandad. I've bought you your favourite chocolate bar. I'm not your real father. But surprises of a wrestling variety always keep us guessing. And surprises afoot for SummerSlam. Adam, what's the story here?
That's right. Stephanie McMahon appearing on Yahoo Finance. I'm a big fan of their content. Chatting about SummerSlam, upcoming WWE stuff. And she was asked whether or not she would consider an in-ring return. To which she responded, well, ever since Ronda Rousey broke my arm, good kayfabe, I like it, Steph, what a pro, I have a little PTSD. I'm not sure you're going to see me in the ring anytime soon, but I guarantee for SummerSlam there is going to be a lot of surprises. This, of course, follows various reports. Some are saying that it's likely that Brock Lesnar's going to come back. It's looking fairly likely that maybe John Cena might be heading back. But WWE seeing this year's SummerSlam as big as WrestleMania. They should call it SummerSlam WrestleMania.
Don't give them ideas. Some of the other names floated around for a potential surprise appearance in the build-up, at least, to SummerSlam. Daniel Bryan still in the mix. We could very well see a big Daniel Bryan return at SummerSlam.
Massive Daniel Bryan.
Massive. Edge is another one. Edge is somebody else who has been rumoured to be part of the road to SummerSlam on the SmackDown side of things. And, Sasha Banks is another name that's set to make a return ahead of SummerSlam as well. We've not seen her since her main event match at WrestleMania. But any other surprises we could think of that could be?
Skinner.
Scars.
I don't know why Skinner came to mind there. I'd love to see a bit. Steve Kern.
Steve Kern, the Alligator Man, would be a lovely surprise. That'd be a nice one. I think whatever they do, I think SummerSlam's going to feel really... They're throwing a lot into SummerSlam this year. And I think whatever they plan... I think SummerSlam's always a bit of a sleeper event in the year because it gets sort of lost in the shuffle of like your Royal Rumbles, your WrestleManias, your Survivor Series, is. But this one hits a bit different because it is sort of the first big pay-per-view of the beginning of the genesis of the post-pandemic era.
A McGillicuddy.
Of the McGillicuddy era of the wrestling. I'm intrigued for it. I'm up for SummerSlam this year.
Really looking forward to it.
What are the surprises? Could potentially be the King of the Ring? Maybe? I don't know.
It'll happen on Raw. Not many people will watch it. But Baron Corbin has teased the return of King of the Ring. He appeared on WWE's The Bump and said, I think everyone has their eye on it, just like they do with a championship title, talking about his King of the Ring crown, of course. They want an opportunity, a chance, and they want to earn it. That's what the crown does to people. A tournament is what's necessary to wear the crown, though. If you want a shot, talk to somebody, cry to people, and get it set up. Xavier Woods, I would love to face him in the tournament. His dream will be cut short, but I'm happy to do it and defend it in the right circumstances. Xavier Woods has spoken many, many times about how his dream is not to be WWE champion, it's not to win a Royal Rumble, nothing like that. He wants to be King of the Ring, and I actually think they've got a ready-built storyline there. Maybe he fails this year, maybe he fails next year, but when he finally wins it, that's going to be a really big deal, and I hope they do it, and I hope they make King of the Ring feel super important as well. I don't like the fact that it just plays out on the weekly shows. I really, really don't. I'd love it to have its own pay-per-view again, to be honest.
I think, as you said there, like Baron Corbin talking up a big game bit on The Bump is one thing, and Adam Pearce then quote retweeting it as well, telling us to stay tuned, kind of gives a little bit of that gravitas to maybe, just maybe, we will see a King of the Ring. Best King of the Ring ever, go!
Brett winning, obviously.
Wrong answer. It was the year Billy Gunn won. It's a way of making a star like Billy Gunn.
It used to be. It did genuinely, Billy Gunn aside, it did used to be a way of making a star. But in recent years, when it has come back, there have been good ones. I thought King Sheamus was all right. Barrett, all right. But
we nearly had a great one with King Regal.
Then the drug suspension thing, right?
Yeah.
And that come fairly soon after?
Literally, I think almost like 10 minutes after we were robbed of real King Regal run, which is a shame. But in the absence of King of the Ring, we've had to look to different ways to make stars. Obviously, the NXT system's been very successful, and I don't know. Being the side project of Eva Marie is another way of potentially being a star. Piper Niven, a woman who we don't know the name of, made their debut on Monday. Now, okay, loads of people have got their knickers in a twist about this one, and my knickers are somewhat twisted about this. And somebody came at me and said online, oh yeah, but the thing is, we didn't complain when Dabba Kato came back as Commander Aziz. Like, they're not the same. Like no. Piper Niven is such a well-travelled veteran. I made the comparison online, the Eva Marie Piper Niven thing to Daniel Bryan and The Miz at the start of NXT.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the veteran and the rookie.
In the sense that it's a rookie who is under the tutelage of somebody who doesn't seem worthy to tutor them, and that's the story they're telling. I'm intrigued to see where it goes, but it looks as if there's been some negativity online, not so much about the character, but some body shaming of Piper Niven online. Mia Yim put out a tweet about this, saying that she was disgusted to see some of the tweets from fans who are, quote, bold behind the screens. Charlotte Flair, Bronson Reed, Nash Carter from MSK, and many others agreed with this, posting tweets online backing this up. Piper Niven herself has reacted to comments made today, said successful big people receive this criticism because they remind people of their own shortcomings. She doesn't worry about the critics. She says Niven says the amount of body shaming I've seen is atrocious. No one body shames KO, Samoa Joe, Otis, etc. because they don't have the perfect body. She's a talented badass. Then you'll get at us because our self-esteem sucks. I wonder why. This was Niven responding to a fan who had seen. That was the tweet from the fan, essentially. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen loads of it, but I know that it's always there and it always sucks. Maybe there is something to be said because, it makes us feel bad about ourselves and we push it out into the world that way.
Yeah, I don't know the reason for doing it. The women of WWE certainly get it a lot worse than the men. That fan is completely spot on. You don't get that with Samoa Joe, with Otis, and so on. So yeah, Niven's comments there are completely just. And if you haven't seen her before, wait until you see her wrestle. You will be converted because she is amazing. And yeah, she doesn't deserve any of the hate. Obviously, goes without saying. Piper
Niven, the latest to get a call up from NXT, something that quite a few people aren't that bothered about doing in our final story of today. This is one with an interview with Alexander Wolfe, isn't it, Adam?
That's right. Axel Tischer speaking with Wrestle Talk, who said, I know a lot of guys, they don't want to get called up. They've openly said they want to stay. They had the chance to go up and refused to do so, even if the money was more. And he says he really respected that after he came back to NXT and NXT UK. For me, it was like I never wanted to go back up. And hey, you know what? He was burned the first time around. Sanity on SmackDown. What a stinker that was. Completely awful call up. And we've seen so many dreadful NXT call ups at this point, and I really respect that too. If you're going to say no to the money, just because you care about your character, and I think it's fair to say that character work is dealt with better, storylines are generally better in NXT, or at least a lot of the time. Then yeah, I do really respect that. I totally understand why people want to do that.
It's just very damning of the call-up system. Mm-hmm. Where, do you want to come onto the main show? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't want to get promoted to the Premiership. I'm fine in the Championship. Thank you very much. That's fine.
You don't know football, do you? You struggle there, nor do I.
No. It goes Premiership, Championship, Autobaths Division 9. Vauxhall Conference. That's football leagues. I think Manchester Town's in one of them. I think so. I had a chat with David Seaman last week. You wouldn't know, would you? Did you? Bluffed my way through a chat with David Seaman. Ever so proud.
Love Seaman. You forgot the big story here, Tom.
What is the big story?
A WWE champion credit card from Credit Card One Bank. Card benefits include 3% cash back on eligible internet, cable, sat, TV, and mobile phone services. 2% back on dining, 1% cash back on rewards and other purchases, and WWE merch discounts. So that's we should have led with that. Why didn't we lead with that? Great stuff.
Oh, look at that. If you're feeling creatively bankrupt, maybe get a WWE credit card. It might help one of the bankrupts. Have a lovely day. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.